In a moment, we will be discussing how to avoid three of the most common but avoidable problems plaguing many ESET deployments. First, we want to be able to validate that every endpoint has the ESET solution installed. Like most endpoint management solutions, ESET's architecture relies on services installed on every managed endpoint in the organization. This service must be configured accurately on each endpoint for the solution to be available and effective. Unfortunately, antivirus-based technologies are susceptible to a common weakness. Services themselves can be disabled or missing, rendering the associated solution uselessly unavailable. Next, we want to validate that the one required service and process associated with ESET is configured and running correctly. If this fails because it is stopped, it is a critical problem that the ESET console cannot remediate alone. And last, we want to validate that the signature file is up to date within acceptable guidelines. Hi, my name is Paul Waldman with Promisec. In this session, I'm going to show you how Promisec's unique agentless technology, providing 100% visibility and control of your endpoints, can help stabilize and improve your ESET experience. Let's get started. First, we need to choose an IP range or group of machines to inspect. There are several ways we can do this, including a hostname, IP range, or through integration with Active Directory, which is the most common method used in most enterprise deployments of the Promisec solutions. As you can see, I have selected 5 various hosts which have been added to our inspection in the pane here. Here is where you select either by hostname or IP address, by domain. This is where you can import the Active Directory. You can import the whole Active Directory container, an object, or a group. Or you can do it by IP range. When doing it by IP range, this ensures that all hosts get inspected. If a machine falls outside the Windows or the security domain or the Active Directory domain, this ensures that we inspect every host by IP address. Thus, no host is left behind. Next, let's take a look at the custom ESET configuration template that will define our inspection criteria and policies. This configuration template provides all of the technical requirements we need to inspect the health and status of our ESET deployment. It includes the required service and associated process required for full ESET functionality, as well as potentially useful registry information pertaining to ESET that will likely prove very valuable in the ongoing management and maintenance of your ESET deployment. The solution that we're going to use will leverage your existing domain or local admin credentials to inspect your network without having to utilize WMI, ActiveX, or dissolvable agents. So as we go over here, we go to the user defined, down to Windows user defined, and we click on our services tab. As you can see, we have predefined the ESET service. During the inspection, if we find the ESET service disabled or off, we will go ahead and enable that service and turn it on. Here, the respective service on the local host that we're doing the inspection is defined here during the installation of NOD 32, ESET's NOD 32, which makes very, very good security products. You can see that we've defined the service name, the display name, and description name. Here, we find the path to the executable and to the executable that will be the process. When we take a look over here now at the process, we now highlight on the ESET kernel, and we've defined the ESET kernel process and the actual executable that needs to be running to tell us whether the process is on or it's off. The real power of Promisec's solution here with Spectator is the registry key, to be able to build custom registry queries very quickly. Here we've predefined these, and this configuration is available for download off the Promisec site. Here we're checking on one of them, the ESET scanner version and DAT. And as you can see, we've defined any here. By defining any, we will search for any version of ESET that is out there and report it back. As I click on the registry builder, I can click on the local machine, or I can go out and connect to a gold standard image machine, bear down on the HKey local machine, HKey LM, down to software, down to ESET, click on the ESET security tab, click on the current version information, and this is where we can pull a wealth of information out that you can use to check on the status of your deployment. Here, let's just go ahead and click on the product version. We'll look both for the value and the data. Here, again, if we change the registry data to any, Anytime we run the inspection, we'll pull out any version that is located on the endpoint. This could be very useful to find out what our next deployment options are or upgrade options are going to be. Also, if we have a broken registry key, we have the ability to replace the data. So here, if we do an inspection, find a key that is not defined correctly or is broken, we can actually put the value in and then at the next point of the inspection, correct it. So the real power here is within the registry and using the Windows user define. More than just another monitoring and inspection tool, this solution provides robust auto and right-click remediation capabilities that can probably help make quick work of some of the most challenging ESET deployment problems. Here I'm going to go ahead and click on our expand our view, and as you can see, these are the results of our customized ESET inspection using the configuration that is available on the PromiSec site. Here we can sort on any of the columns. We can click on hostname, IP address, object, the status, and the details. As you can see, I can sort all the host names together or all the objects together if I so desire. Here you can see the results of the inspection, very detailed. Here we're seeing the ESET license expiration dates. We're seeing what the product name is, the specific product version that is loaded out there, the scanner build. Here we can automatically see that we have a scanner build that has a very low version. Here this would tell us to go ahead and do right-click remediation and update it. Some other things that we can find is that one is that the antivirus DATs are out of file. Here we can go to our user-defined actions and we can do a host of predefined actions that are available. Here being one of the most important that we could find is that the antivirus host is not installed. By right-clicking on it and using the deployment agent option, here we can use our own Spectator solution for deploying out to the endpoint. Here we're not trying to take away from the ESET console, but only add value to it. Here I'm going to just quickly set up a AV deployment task. I'm going to browse to the MSI, which can be located either on the endpoint or on a share. Open it up, click on it, and as you can see, we support all the delimiters for quiet and suppressing the install so the user doesn't know it's coming down to them on the endpoint. Click OK, and I can go ahead and kick it off. Now, of course, I'm going to cancel it because I've already have it deployed on this endpoint. Also, at the same time, we have predefined other user actions that can aid in the deployment. Here, if I have a host that didn't respond, I can send a ping down to it. And as you can see, I could just say if I didn't find something there, I could go ahead, user-defined, and see if the host responds. Here, the host is responding. Or more importantly, I can see that it's not installed, and I could also go in there under the user-defined actions, and I can run the ESET rescue or the ESET inspector. Here we can make a local function call down, and as you can see, I can bring up the ESET rescue on the local endpoint. Also, I have the ability to also execute the other task, the ESET inspector. Here, I'm going to go ahead and close it out and not run it. We can take all this information and use it to our benefit to better support an ESET deployment. Thanks for watching. For a free, no obligation trial of this solution, contact us via email at sales@promisec.com or visit us on the web at www.promisec.com.